we're almost getting to our time, and I have several more questions, maybe even more that come up in my head at the moment. But as one question I really want to ask you, if that's okay, of course, because we're running down time. Is that okay?
Sure.
Cool,
Yeah.
thanks. So, well, we both know Owen Hemseth. I always want to say Owen Video, but I had him on last month as a guest, and he was talking about the vision for his kids. Really passionate. I was loving it. And part of his vision was that for his kids, he wants to have them start a YouTube channel and start generating a monthly income at a very young age. And I was loving it. And I was just wondering then, how much does what you share apply for kids? How can we as fathers teach us that? And then something happened, and I don't have that here that I share with you, but a good friend of mine from the UK, his son is, I think, 6, and he started his own YouTube channel. His father shared it, one of the videos that he made. And it was cool. The kid was really confident and was really awesome. But here's what scared me. There was somebody underneath that shared a message, just saying hello, but the name was like Booty, blah, 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 blah. So you know where I'm getting at, right?
Yep.
And I was like, ooh, but that's something that I don't want. So I'm just wondering, what's your advice, and what are negative aspects that we should prepare for that could happen that, you might want to take into consideration?
Yeah. So first of all, Owen Hemseth, Owen Video is incredible. So I just to say, love that guy. Incredible entrepreneur, father, husband, leader. So much respect for him and the business he's building. Super great guy. And then in answer to the question of his idea of having his kids start YouTube channels and make money, I think it's brilliant. I think that to answer that third question, that we are living in scary times. Social media has been proven to be addictive. Social media has been proven to, when taken to extremes, to reduce happiness. And then obviously access to things like pornography or whatever other things that exist on the internet. So there are a lot of scary sides to it. But the other thing is that it's also just sort of the nature of the world we live in. So to kind of answer both questions at the same time, I don't think, and I say this with, reverence to of all the actual parents, but so it's just my point of view in the way I will raise my kids. I don't think that, we can't change the world the way it is. And these tools, like right now, businesses are wanting people who are technically savvy. Businesses want to be hiring people who can be content marketers for them, whether that's be on camera or produce video or learn how to monetize or learn how to code or that are digitally savvy. So I think one of the smartest things parents can do is encourage their kids and help their kids embrace these platforms, learn these tools. So much to say, almost to say this, I started, at 21, getting this head start of doing videos in my youth group. I'm now seeing kids who are starting at 6, and I'm like, man, they have such a head start. When they're 18, even if they don't succeed, it's all learning. Like just the fact that they've had 1 or 2 YouTube channels and they've uploaded 100 videos and they've gone through that process. Like that's the kind of things I want my kids to be doing. So I think it's absolutely awesome and something parents should absolutely do, because it's going to teach kids hard skills and soft skills, but just going through the process of creation, of learning and of trying things and experimenting. Just like a lemonade stand is going to teach you some things about business that you could use later, embracing some of these tools is going to do that. And then the last thing I would say is that, probably 2 things. One, when it comes to the dangers of it. One, it's completely on the parents to know, manage, and oversee, all the above, like at least as it pertains to what's happening underneath your roof, what's happening on your internet connection, whether you're using firewalls or servers or routers that are blocking certain sites or flagging certain keywords. All of that exists. And if parents say, I'm not sure what that stuff is or how to do that, that's on you. There's a thing called Google where you could go figure that out. There's seminars, there's conferences. I think that the digital literacy of baby boomers and even millennials needs to be raised so that you can lead Gen Z and the upcoming generation. You could say, well, I didn't grow up with that, but you don't have a choice. Like that's the world we're living in, number one. And then number two, though, I think that we just need a level of grace. You know this. You can't protect your child from everything. And you weren't protected from everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you got into. I know that, like, I mean, shoot, I was dubbing tapes. I was getting tapes of like hip hop music, you know, with swearing and stuff in it. In second grade, like handed to me on the playground. And I was, you know, listening to that stuff when I should have been. And my parents were amazing. Like at some level. And you know, I look back and I'm like, again, like I'm alive, you know, like, so like, I think there is a tension there to where I don't think we can micromanage or over control or over sanitize the environment. But I think that we definitely as parents can do our best to offer as much success. And the final thing that I would say is I think it would almost be dangerous to try and keep, you know, to take that Amish approach, no disrespect to the Amish, because you could just go so extreme. At some point, your kids are going to face these things. They're going to embrace these things, but you actually could be setting your child up for to be extremely behind in culture, in business, in just being savvy with what is happening in the real world. And they'd have a lot of catching up to do if they don't just know about, you know, same thing like Snapchat. Like, I get it. There was sexting and like all these kids are like sending each other pictures and stuff. And I think that for parents, and this is again how I will parent, I think that yes, you want to protect, but you also want to just have conversations. Every challenge or mistake is an opportunity to learn, to coach, to mentor, to speak through things. And so I don't want to be flippant with the dangers, but I do think that you just kind of have to embrace them and coach your kids through them, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. A lot of wisdom for a man that has no sons or daughters of his own yet. So I really appreciate that. Thanks. And I assume that the 7 C's, that whole strategy, the whole way of building up your channel is going to be exactly the same, no matter what your age is. And you don't have to tweak it or anything, right? Awesome.
Yep, it is. And some people have even said, I mean, obviously, I think this would be a good book if someone wants to do YouTube, for sure. If someone's just exploring it, for sure. But also the 7 C's, they're practical for all platforms. So even if YouTube, right now, I'm excited about a lot of things. LinkedIn video, I'm excited about video on Instagram. And the same is going to be true. You got to have courage to punch fear in the face. You've got to have clarity about who you were trying to reach. You've got to set up your channel. Maybe that's your LinkedIn page, your LinkedIn business page, your Instagram profile. You've got to engage, you know, pump out content. You need to engage with the community in the comments. All these platforms are social networks. So they're social. So there's community. There's ways to monetize on all the platforms. And then you got to stay consistent. So the 7 C's, while they are YouTube secrets, they are very transferable to digital marketing in general.
Absolutely.
Are you still meeting up with your friends now that you're a father? Kids making you stress out. You got no time for yourself to work out, read, or relax. Can you still remember the time you were hanging out with your friends, feeling energetic, happy, and confident? Spending time together and talking about your life and your crazy dreams. You're feeling alone now, don't you? No one to share your challenges with, and you're just running around from one storm into the next. Well, it's time to change this now. Join me and the Brotherhood of Fearless Fathers to speak on a weekly basis with like-minded dads to crush your challenges, face your fears with determination, be held accountable, and regain control of your life. If you want to become the hero your family needs you to be, then go to becomeafearlessfather.com/brotherhood. Looking forward to seeing you on one of our next calls.